Everybody, this is Aaron Peterson. I'm one of your innovative education facilitators here at the DDSB, and I'm here for another BYTEsized PD. Previously on BYTEsized PD, we've taken a look at WeVideo. WeVideo is an online video editor licensed to all DDSB staff and students that gives us a full suite of editing or video editing software right in a browser compatible with a Chromebook or Windows machine. In that video, I touched on the editor and kind of the basics of video editing, laying out multi-track editing. But today, what we're going to look at is kind of part 2 of WeVideo and have a look at managing groups and projects so that teachers can assign things to students and have access to those projects while students are doing some of that editing. So I'm just going to share my screen here, and we're going to jump into WeVideo now and take a look at how this workflow would look. So right here, I'm signed in as a teacher into this account. So that's my student screen. Here we go. I'm signed into a teacher account here. And you can see across the top, I've got projects, media, videos, and groups. Today where we're going to be working is groups and projects. Before I start my students on a project or even getting into WeVideo, I like to create a group so that I can put my classes together. Now, a group could be a full classroom if you're assigning the same thing to everyone. It could be a smaller group of maybe 3 or 5 students that you're putting together on a video editing team for a group assignment. It might be something for an extracurricular where they're putting together video announcements or something else, and you put those students into a group so you can easily share things with those people. So to get started as a teacher, I'm going to click on groups. And then in here, I see the groups that I've already made. And these are all sitting in this groups tab. You may have none, obviously, if you're just getting started with groups. Now I'm going to click down here on the blue plus button in the lower right corner. That'll give me that option to create a new group. So clicking on that brings me up this, this window here. It'll look something like this. Now I've already searched for a student name here to filter out this view, but you'll see the whole list of students and teachers in the DDSB here. Now, if I wanted to add all my students singly, I could select them here. You can see selecting the student's name will actually turn this down here at the bottom to one user in one group. Deselecting it takes that user out. This isn't the most obvious way, so I just want to show you again. If I select it, it highlights that student with a gray band. If I unselect it, it will disappear. You don't actually have to select any of your students here, however, and I actually recommend that you don't. A better workflow is to have them join your group with a code. So the only thing I need to do on this page is to title this a new group. So I'm going to call this BYTEsized PD on December now, December 4th. So I'm going to name that there, and I'm going to go ahead and create it with no users in the group, just create my empty group. Now you're going to see that group show up there. There's my BYTEsized PD group right there. And you can see I should have no members in there, okay? Now this one I've added members to using a group. Sorry, I made a mistake there. So I'm going to go back to my groups, do that one more time. So I'm going to go to my groups, click on plus, and then I'm going to go to my groups, but I'm not going to select any groups this time. And I'm going to try this one more time. So if I'm creating it from blank, BYTEsized PD, 2, and I'm going to create that with no users and no groups, and that's what I want to see. So no members in there at all. Okay, this one I'm just going to get rid of. Right click and delete a group at any time, and you can get rid of that. So I've got BYTEsized PD. There's my group right there. And once this is finished deleting the other group, I can double click that and see that I have no members in there. Now, if I want to add members, I could add members by, like I just showed you, searching them and selecting them. But your students, to refresh this page, your students may not have anything in there. Or sorry, they might not have joined before into WeVideo, meaning they don't have an account to use. So what we want to look for is this group code here. So this group code, you can highlight and copy and paste. I like to put it on a slide. You might put this into a Google Classroom or a D2L link. You can also click on Add Members to Group, and you can choose to use a link to send it. The easiest way, again, is just to get that group code. Now, if I'm a student working in WeVideo, I go to the dashboard, I have this option to join a group here on the left. So if I go to join group, I can just paste that code in that I've copied from Classroom or somewhere else, or type it in if I've seen it from a projector. I'm going to go ahead and copy that in so I can have this student join the group. You'll see the success code accepted when you've gotten into the group. That lets you know that the students are in. Once they click close, that's the only thing they'll see. They won't see any other reason why they're in the group. Nothing will change on their screen. Sometimes that confuses students, but just warn them that if they see success, they're in. If they don't, then they won't be there. If they try to join the group again, they would actually see this message that says you're already a member of this group, so it won't let them rejoin. Then they can confirm that they're definitely in that group. Now let's take a look at creating a project for this group. So once I've got this group created, now I can start assigning things to them. So I've got a couple ways to do that. From within the group here, I can go to start a group project here on the left-hand side and start through there. Or if I was already on my projects tab, I could start a project here using this plus button down here to create a new project. Okay, and that'll give you the chance to assign it to a group. So I'm going to do it this way, just to show you how that looks. If I create a new project, it's going to ask me, it's going to show me a screen like this. First, I need to create a new project. So I'm going to call this BYTEsized PD, groups, and projects demo. Now I've got a choice of what kind of project I want to make it. So down here, I've got a personal project, a collaborative project, and a shared project. If I'm using a group, I definitely don't want to use a personal project. That means it's not shared to anyone. I don't have anybody else contributing to this. If I go to a collaborative project, that means everyone in this group, everyone in this project can edit each other's work. This is usually not what you want if you're assigning this to a whole class group. This might be what you want if, like we were saying before, if you had a video announcements team, or you were assigning this to a smaller group, you just created a smaller group within your class, and it's a group project to work on. Usually, what people are going to do is create a shared project. You can see the icon is 1-to-1 on the projects to users. This means that you'll have access as a teacher to everything in this project, but students will not. They will only be able to see their own edits and their own videos that they produce. So I'm going to go ahead and click Next here. Once I've gotten through this page, I'm going to have this option. Do I want to invite people with a link or select members and groups? So here I can take this link and I could add it to Google Classroom. They could just click through and join the project. Or I could come back over here and select my group. This is what we're going to choose here. So I'm going to select members and groups, and I'm going to very quickly jump to my groups. If I want to select each individual member, I could do that over here by adding them in, but I'm going to do it en masse using my already created group. So I'm going to take that BYTEsized PD group, select it. You can see that one group is selected now down here, okay? Not like the mistake I made before. So you're going to make that one group down here and no individual members, and then I'm going to click Next. Now it's important here, if you wanted to add media, you can. So I could select these pieces of media and add them in. This would make this media available to everyone in the group. I don't need to do that, however. I can do that at another time through my media tab or through my media browser in an edit. So I can just leave it and not select anything. That means they're going to use their own media, and they're going to use the media provided by WeVideo. Clicking Next makes my project, and I can just click Finish unless I'm ready to create a new video in here. So I'm just going to click Finish. So now in my projects, in this BYTEsized PD project demo, I would see all the student edits that are in here. Now, obviously, I have no students who have joined in this, so I don't see their edits. But I'm going to jump back over to our student account and show where a student would find this now. So we know they're already in a group, so they joined my group, and I made the project. Doesn't matter the order you do that in. You could create the project first and then have your students join a group. That's what I like to do if we're launching this in a class. Go ahead and make your project, have it set up, ready to go ahead of time, give the students the code, they join, they'll get that project. So if a student goes into their projects, they can go to Shared with Me and see the projects that are shared with them. And you're going to see I do not have that BYTEsized PD here. Now, this is a time when a lot of people panic and they say, well, I added them to the group. I added the project to the group to the project, and they go in and they can't see it. All you need to do is have the students click reload or refresh, and they're going to have this come in. There's the BYTEsized PD demo. What happens with WeVideo is that they load these lists of members and lists of projects in when you first sign in, and they don't reload them every time you load the page. This is for faster performance. So if something changes in the meantime, since when they signed in they had no groups or projects, now you want them to get the project that you assigned, they need to refresh the page and get that to bring up. Once they've done that, they double click the project, and now this is like a folder where they can make multiple video edits. Anything that a student makes, you will have access to see in your panel. So if this student starts a new video edit, really quickly, creates this video edit in here and makes some changes, and then saves this. So I'm going to rename this student video 1. When this is saved, the teacher's view over here, again, I've got to refresh because those projects aren't loaded yet. I'm going to see that student video 1 right there. So I have access now as a teacher to go into any of those. Now this video edit is locked. When you have collaborative projects in WeVideo, they are not open to live editing. They're going to be open only to one editor at a time. Or sorry, not live collaboration. So they're only open to one editor at a time. Otherwise, they are locked to prevent kind of chaos and confusion among your students. So what we want to do is, if you want to jump in, you can unlock it. That will force the student to stop editing. Or if a student simply returns to their dashboard and leaves the project, this will open that video up to you. And as a teacher, if I open this up, you have full access to the edit as it's ongoing. Think of this like Google Classroom. When you assign an assignment, you have access to the docs, the sheets, the slides that students are making and working on, so that you can give them feedback, you can check in on them, you can help them along the way. Same is true with WeVideo. It always stands that when students are done, they're going to want to finish their videos so that you're not watching the video with the timeline, you're watching just the finished clip. So they can click finish and load that video out like that. As a teacher, when you're in your projects, all the finished videos will end up under this videos tab on the left-hand side. So instead of in the edits where people are working, you go to the videos, this would show all your finished videos that are exported out here. Students also have the option, of course, to submit finished videos to Google Classroom or send you the link elsewhere into another LMS. But if you create the projects and you create the groups into the projects, you will have access all along the way to all your media. So just to recap really quickly, what we want to think about are that groups are groups of students. They could be whole classes or smaller groups of editing groups. Projects are like folders or assignments. So if you are working in your own projects, they act like folders where you can have multiple edits inside them, like this one, like a personal one like this. And if you have shared projects that are given out to students, then you will have multiple edits in them because each student has an edit inside. Okay. So that's WeVideo groups and projects. I hope that clears some things up, helps you get started using this great tool in assignments and having students share their learning and share some of their understanding. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us here at Innovative Education at the DDSB, and we'll be happy to help you between our team of facilitators and coaches to get you going. Check out all the other bite-sized PD links that we've got for short informational sessions, real quick PD sessions that are under 20 minutes that you can watch on demand on your own time. All right, until next time, have a good one.